kind of limited.
What about something like a Void Spirit carry? I think that would be pretty cool if they were to bring
They
something
banned
like
it out. They
that
banned
up.
it out.
Oh, they
banned it
banned
out,
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But not
But
every
yeah,
team is
something
going to be
that's
able to
got
play that.
catch.
I
Like,
would
what
say,
else is there?
Yeah, there's not that many carries.
Oh, this
the
one doesn't have any
Weaver.
catch, but it is elusive.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right.
I mean, on paper, it's a pretty good Weaver game. How are you going to lock him
Yeah.
down? And so on and so forth that people always say about
rampage
Weaver, but this hero, this hero never really impresses, I think, as from a carry perspective. But they have the ability to play kind of fast here. Like all three of their cores, if they have a decent early game, they can fight and play fast early on. You also have the potential to get a really early vessel, perhaps, on the Willow. And at that point, I think you have you're very strong. But again, without any catch, can you really lock Nigma down and force Nigma to fight on your terms and onto your timings? I find it hard to believe that Nigma would get caught in an awkward spot like that. Now, on the other hand, if the game goes later on, then I think actually 4Pirates also has a chance, but not sure. I think Nigma has the better of it this time.
Yeah, I think I got to agree. I do like the approach that Nigma has, and yeah, the Weaver could be risky. I think what we saw here, Otaka did try once before, didn't get the win in that game when he picked this one up. It's they're slippery. You know, they've got a few slippery heroes on 4Pirates' side, but things look a bit more kind of just standard and robust from the approach that Nigma's brought to this game. To the point where unless they have this sort of crazy lead early on 4Pirates, you would imagine that the Morph Ghost is going to have a pretty solid chance of carrying the game if it goes late.
Yeah. You also have the way of disengaging with Naga. You have a lot of good ways of pushing out the waves with the Coddle, the Naga illusions, right? So I think you have a lot of ways to delay the game and dodge fights as Nigma. Another point though is that this Coddle hero has not been that successful out of the mid lane in the new patch. I think Sumail is one of the players that has made it work. But I'm also a little bit skeptical of this hero in general. Because I think the early rotations with the vessel and stuff, if they don't turn out that great, then then maybe you have a chance of falling behind and not having that high impact. I have a smoke here, an aggressive smoke coming out of 4Pirates, but Nigma are in a very defensive, good position here, and also smoked up, so unlikely something is gonna come out of this.
I'll spot GH out, at least the smoke dispels, but yeah, not going to be able to make an aggressive move for a kill. Yeah, Ghost staying safe underneath the tier 2 to start this. I mean, because in terms of the lanes that they've ended up with, do you sort of see this top lane, is it going to be able to put pressure on the Morph at the start, or is Ghost having a pretty good laning stage?
I think it could put a little bit of pressure on him early on, but I think more importantly, the Timber should have a pretty free lane here. I think Morphling has a harder time putting pressure on the Timber. And like we talked about, Naga Siren in lane is not the most scary hero, right? Then we have bot lane, the Undying Weaver. I mean, that lane is very strong. And the fact that Undying can keep decaying, and then the Weaver can easily follow up, and the potential goal from Tombstone, I think this lane could be strong.
I'll see how they do on the CS. I'll see just in the mid, like, how much. Because, in terms of the Coddle mid, would you imagine Sumail's just going to be able to sort of match the farm from the sniper, just eventually just being able to, nuke out every wave?
I think the problem that Coddle might have is that he needs a bunch of levels before his wave actually kills the creeps, right? So I think Sniper's going to get a lot of denies on the Coddle. And obviously Coddle cannot stop the Sniper from farming at all. There's no way about that, but he has an easy time to go back into the jungle, which is probably also why we saw 4Pirates move into the jungle and place that sentry ward in the camp, right? Knowing that Coddle is likely to go and be stacking that or farming that later on.
Omar, an easy courier snipe. This is, one thing about this lane, obviously, that, being the Jakiro, you kind of have the answers to two of these the spells right from the Undying and the Weaver. You know, when the bugs come out, you know, you got that double trouble. You're going to be able to kill them off that a little bit easier. And same as we said, right when the Tombstone gets dropped, you are one of the stronger heroes of turning and taking these objects out of the map.
Yeah, the Jakiro has the double hit actually has quite a lot of utility in the game that you don't think about, right? Like even something like dewarding a sentry could be in the lane as well against the Weaver. So a little underrated aspect. And we also see him starting out with the boost of speed, which is kind of cool because you don't need to worry about your mana that much because you don't have mana cost on your liquid fire. You can also outrun the Undying and kite him around. So this is a nice approach from Umar this game.
And the first wave so far in the mid. Smo getting harassed back a little bit here by Nachi Harwalk. But yeah, last hits have been fine from Samel in the first few waves, 11 and 3. Keeping up here with the sniper. Top lane. Yeah, a bit of a slower start for Ghost, but he does have the creep wave coming in underneath his tower with the pull that was made. And at the moment, at least, we're not going to see any threat being put onto him. GH, good jukes around the bramble. Make sure not to get caught out by the roots.
We see Timbersaw has a very good game already.
And Ghost, yeah, we're able to get him with the waveform and grab that healing Lotus. Always a lovely pickup on the Morphling. Down bottom. Free farm continues for Oxycloud. Same to be said though for Noob. That's both having a pretty chill time down here. No one really at threat of dying, it feels like, in this laning stage. Kind of mainly because the aggressive potential, as we talked about, from the safe lane duo of 4Pirates is shut down by the fact that, yeah, Jakiro and Bristle very likely can turn and just stand their ground and fight back, especially with just down to the fact that they could get rid of that Tombstone. And then top lane, I say, is more likely to maybe see a death if the Willow or the Nagasarian get caught out of position.
Yeah.
Still could be quite a passive laning stage.
That definitely could be. We might also see Undying at some point run out of resources to the point where he wants to actually drop that Tombstone and make something happen, and then we could just see the first blood as a result of that.
Oh, Ghost. Gotta be careful there. Big burst coming in from Mr. Morale. Maybe seeing if they could get the snipe, but Ghost playing it safe beyond the trees. Maybe checking as well to make sure they don't reveal that, or if they did have a ward behind the tower, but at the moment they don't on this top lane, so I'm trying to look for those sort of sneaky pokes and plays.
Sumail is not off to the best start here. Sniper has gotten a lot of the nice, and he also got one of the worst camps to see as a called the Warpine Raiders. Then he did get to deward the other camp, so he can start jumbling a bit now.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit of a stack going.
Sniper also stacking, yeah. That's pretty well done by him.
He's maximizing him. You know, when we saw them play the sniper last time, we just saw how incredibly far Nathaniel did get. Top, they try again with the brambles, but GH absolutely on point with the juice. It's not letting any of these brambles catch onto him.
I think the Omar movement is also kind of cool here with placing that ward early on, sort of anticipating these stacks could be coming in. Look at Sniper's movement as well. So these jungle camps are being very prioritized right now. Actually gonna steal the damaged camps here.
Very nicely done by Natsinawa.
For sure. He purposely pushed in the wave our mid lane to be able to do this.
No, see if he's able to get away with that again. Or somehow, you know, he'll just look to sort of stack and play elsewhere. Well, the amplified damage room picked up. Samel's going to head over with Omar. Maybe see if they get the chance for a kill. Now I'm going to see Pedanchik.
Carl is only level 5, so you can't really kill this Undying. He's just going to walk away. Carl's going to try to steal some of the stacks, but the fact that they saw them is pretty bad for them.
I mean, they could kind of go on to Samael.
They can. Assassinate is available if they wanna. Okay, never mind.
Should be fine with the heal. So Samel at least won't die, but Omar does go down. So first blood finally
top.
coming in at 6.5 minutes. They get the kill for Sniper.
Top lane, Samel TP top here to make use of his ultimate. Nicely done by him. There's a Wisdom Rune spawning right now, but nobody's in a position to actually grab it for 4Pirates here. GH is moving in. They are scanning though, so Willow's going to be able to contest.
I mean, as you can hold him back with the net, but Shadow Realm's there. As it's GH, I don't know if he can stand to sort of stick around and try and battle this one out. Further TPs are coming in. Assassinate, ready to go. GH gets shot down. And 4Pirates are able to secure their Wisdom.
Clutch scan there. If it was just a second or two later there, that they would have lost their Wisdom.
Awesome out. Continuing to make the moves. He wants to sort of aggressively farm this area of the map. Feels safe in doing so at the moment. And in terms of the vessel, yeah, just a recipe away from having a full vessel. So it's still going to be a solid timing on the vessel for this call. We'll just see if Samel's able to start snowballing, finding the opportunities to get kills with the rest of the team. Bottom lane, Noob starting to get aggressive over towards the Dan chip. GH heading in as well. It's under the tier 2 though. We'll see if Noob wants to dive this. He does not. Diving the tier 2 at the moment to see two of these stacks.
Yeah, the fight of the stacks here.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Samel getting a good amount of those. Actually, it was the purple. It's Narwhal getting most of those. He's actually going to get some kills from this. Samel's dead. And I might tell as well, yeah, I believe actually the Shrapnel did actually end up getting most of the last hits on that stack anyway. So Natty Narwhal gets most of it. And they're going to, as a team, pick up 3 kills for this. So that goes horribly wrong for Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that's worth it at all. I mean, the fact that you also dewarded that ward before this occurred means that you don't have the full vision of what's happening. It also means that the 4Pirates clearly knows that Nigma knows that there are stacks. So yeah, big moves from them. I also want to highlight the Undying not having actually skilled that tombstone because of the reasons probably what we talked about earlier with the Chikiro being able to kill it off pretty quickly, and also maybe not really seeing any opportunities to go for that kill early on. So he's going for this other build with 2-point Soul Rip here.
And it did at least actually look like, so Samel did get most of those hits actually. It was just the purple number I saw wasn't the purple of the sniper, it was the purple of the damage coming out from the Chikiro tick numbers. So Samel at least did get some of the last hits on that stack. But yeah, losing the lives they did for it, still not worth it end of the day for Nigma Galaxy.
He's closing in on the vessel now. He's gonna pretty much have it now. That's a really strong timing for him. Timbersaw can easily die then. But yeah, Sniper still leading the top of the net worth. Going Maelstrom this game.
He's on track to have it super quick. I said we saw Natty Narwhal Sniper absolutely blow away the game the other day with how farmed he got. So he's on track to give us a repeat performance so far. Yep. Great opening to this game.
Now, I would say that this is somewhat normal for the nature of their heroes, right? They picked Weaver on Dying lane. Of course, the Weaver is going to have a good lane, right? They have a mid sniper, that maybe the strongest mid hero in the game. So I think the fact that Nigma is only down 1k maybe is not the end of the world. We should highlight the fact that they also still don't have any catch. So for them to really make use of these early net worth leads is not necessarily that easy, right? It's going to be easier for Nigma to catch up and get the items that they need as well. We have a sniper TP down bottom, by the way. They're potentially going to look to kill the Bristleback off. He's half HP. There's a lot of pressure going into the tower. But again, no catch. Maybe you can do it with the Shrapnel.
Look at the bugs in. And Noob's looking to be in a lot of trouble. Assassinate coming in. He's dead. Right. Natty Narwhal claims another. Can add on to the push onto the tier 1. Sniper 401. And with this tower getting taken down, he's pretty much going to have that Maelstrom Gold 10 minutes in on top of the treads.
Meanwhile, across the map, they try to go in the area there, but just keep us out. I think the reason why the Bristleback move also worked, the moves onto the Bristol kind of worked, is that it's sort of unexpected that a sniper TP safe lane and sets up this type of kill onto you. onto the Undying here.
It's a bit hard to dive here. Now, actually with the setup from Aerial. Holds back on the Terrorize. And sent him up top. Getting aggressive. Looking for Mr. Morale here, Ghost and GH. But TPs are coming in. Ghost is going to have to start backing off. And GH is in trouble now. Support swing over. GH is going to fall. Continuing to rack up the kills here on 4Pirates, whilst Nigma Galaxy, they're struggling to find them themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea, at least in general, historically, of picking this mid coddle is to get a quick vessel, run to the side lanes, apply a lot of pressure, right? Start snowballing the game. We haven't really seen any openings like that happen in this game. Quite the contrary, actually. So I wonder if this pick has backfired a little bit. Of course, the Zero can scale with Aghanims and Uto Travel and things like that. You know, Octarine Core be online everywhere, but I don't think they got exactly out of it what they wanted. Looking to pressure this mid tower here.
Looking for Aerial. And again, just going to be able to go for the Shadow and TP, but this time the burst is there. Samel able to come in, finish him off with the blast of the Illuminate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this type of mid pressure here from 4Pirates. Seems like it's not really gonna achieve anything. That's the one thing you cannot really do against a hero like Coddle, right? He's just gonna depush it, and you're gonna just stand there and waste your time. So that kind of lost them the net worth lead, basically. They were up 2k before, and now I guess they're still up 1k, but not as efficient perhaps as it could be. But I guess this is the problem for the draft in general. Like, how do you transition these strong heroes, Sniper, Maelstrom, Undying, you know, Weaver? How do you transition that into kills, into towers? I'm gonna see them smoke top. So taking down this top tier to 1 could be a good way of opening the map for sure. But doesn't look like Nigma have any interest in defending it. In fact, they're reading it, this movement, pretty well. They're even taking the bot tier 1 down before Pirates does.
Keeping it very, very close on the network. Any sort of time it falls into like this downtime, where both teams are kind of hitting up the farm.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more up to Nigma to dictate when the fight is going to happen, right? Like, cause again, the catch just, if Nigma plays well, they should be able to dodge.
Lots of cut. It's going to start playing around with them. They'll get the terrorized follow-up onto Omar. So if they can chase down to finish the kill, it's a little bit risky for 4Pirates to push into this. And for Danchik at the side, he's just going to get turned upon and killed off. It's the Undying dead. Otsuka still trying to push for a kill. Maybe with the assassinate coming in, they can finally get it. They'll take out Omar. They'll look towards Noob, but the blade mail is up. So they cannot focus the Bristle anymore. And Patanjik coming in on this second life, but has to back off. So it's the 1-for-1 on the supports. Somehow.
Sniper getting slowed up here.
And Ghost has turned up as well, so also trying to see if we can find opportunities to get involved in the action. That won't be the case. And bottom lane, Noob, obviously with the timings, this blade mail online, he feels he can kind of go wherever.
Oh, Weaver has a lot of damage. This like might go down here.
And maybe Noob a little too confident in his strength. Yeah. Ooh, it's going to come in. And it's going to give Noob the chance to TP out. So GH clutched up it from him there, making sure that he was around to bail Noob out of a bad situation.
That's probably the best thing you're going to get out of the song this early on. So a really good position from him, right? To be able to be in that spot on the map at the right time. That's very good. We have Yules on the Timber Soul, so that gives them a little bit more ways of catching people on the map. Canceling TP, stuff like this. Also see Willow going for the same thing.
Top. That's an Narwhal. More than happy to hold the tower here. Ghost doesn't want to get too close. still doing a fine time pushing out the top wave, cleaning up the camps in the safe area of the map that's a little bit difficult for 4Pirates to get to right now. So keeping up with the farm and Otsuka. Just this pretty hefty bit of a lead that Natty Narwhal starting to build up, coming up to about 1,000 ahead of anyone in the game. It's having a very, very good opening as the sniper is going to look to go, of course, straight to the Hurricane Pike after the Maelstrom. And once he's got that, it's just going to be so hard to catch him. So, yeah, Nigma very much having to play their own game, reacting if they want to, but for the most part, just making sure that Ghost is getting the space to farm it up.
Yeah, and if you look at the sniper pick in this game, it's actually a very good sniper game, right? Nigma doesn't really have a good way of getting on top of him. It's pretty much the only way you really get on top of him with multiple here is to set up with some kind of song, right? Or maybe some waveform on top of him, but you know, he's going to be so far away from everybody, ideally, so it's very hard to catch this hero in this game. If he's fat, then it'll be a big problem later on for Nigma. Same for the Weaver, right? We don't have that much disable, so until like hexes come out on Caudle, for example, then it's a very limited lockdown.
Oh.
This is a way to get on top of him.
Yeah, he's actually found the angle to walk up and get in on top of Natty Narwhal. As Natty Narwhal, they have backup coming in, but he gets killed off. Noob's going to be able to find Patanjik as well. Okay. So a rare sort of misposition there from Natty Narwhal on the sniper. Didn't expect Noob to sort of come crashing through the tree line and get on top of him with the goose stacks.
This is exactly the opening they needed, right? They're going to go straight into Roshan now. I don't know if you can actually stop this without the two heroes. Gonna die really fast here with all this group onto the Roche.
Yeah. And even if they come close, GH has got the song back off cooldown, so
true, yeah.
Almost impossible for them to come in. They're going to try, but the song is there, so GH is going to keep the space, hold them outside whilst Ghost finishes the Roche, gets the Aegis, and now they can maybe look to set up the kill. They want to try and focus Otsuka, but they've only got the Ice Path to open it up, so they don't have enough stun to lock him down. They'll try and stand his ground against Ghost, but he's going to have to back off here, Otsuka. Not yet ready to fight the power of the Morphling. So Nigma Galaxy, they get a clean Roast, they get a clean Aegis, picked up on Ghost.
If we, yeah, good stuff from Nigma, right? Capitalizing on those two quick kills in mid tower. Also want to mention how good this Morphling game actually is. If you look at it, you can turn into so many different heroes and have really high impact, right? You can turn into the Undying, get the Tombstone going. You can become the Weaver. You can become the Timbersaw as well. So I think this is a very prime Morphling game in terms of the spell morph. And I think Nigma their 5-man is looking really strong right now. I imagine they're gonna continue to play together and pressure some of these towers like we see right now. Maybe they can even go tier 2.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oscar. I was trying to play around with the morph, but just doesn't really come to much. Goes down a little bit low, but finishing this kill is not going to happen anytime soon. Same time, Nigma Galaxy sweeping over to mid. This would be a huge catch to catch Natty Narwhal pretty much as soon as he's back up there. Straight on onto him, he tries to the TP out, but his snare's there. Terrorize trying to come in, but it's not going to stop them from getting the kill. As Natty Narwhal and Padanchik dead again. It seems like maybe it's just a little bit too much for this little old sniper, right? He's got good farm, but at the end of the day, Nigma Galaxy, they just run at him, get on top of him, and there's not enough to get them off him.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like, I mean, going back a little bit to the draft, right? Like, I don't think Sniper really has a purpose in this game. His other two calls are just farming. He has no catch on the supports. They cannot really capitalize on his strength and on the fact that he won mid so hard. It's a kind of awkward position for him in this game. Where's he supposed to go, right? He was controlling mid lane super well, and suddenly his tower gets taken. But I don't know. It's a hard position to be in for sure. I also want to highlight again the Undying. Still no point in Tombstone. I wonder if this is a conscious choice against the Morphling to not give it away to Ghost. I mean, if that's the case, then suddenly you're Undying without Tombstone. Like, what is that hero really? That's the right choice. Let's see if he starts taking stats as well, or what.
He might just be dead again if Padanchik.
He's dead again. Such an easy kill.
That's rough.
Well, you got the shard for free. They get the tormentor, but he has no points in Tombstone, so shard, no effect right now.
Oh no.
He's
Yeah, it is. The gold difference ain't great. You know, it's not massive. It's only 3K, but the overall vibe of the game feels a little bit for the Radiant side.
This game would end very, very soon, I think. They're already going high ground here. It's gonna die pretty fast, these buildings. And with the heal on Caudle, they don't have to care that much about the sniper peeking at them.
Well, that's Ariel dead. Tier 3 gone at the top. That Noob's just going to keep this push going.
I mean, there's nothing to fear at all from the draft of 4Pirates, right? If you think about it. It's just a slow push, a slow poke from Weaver and Sniper, but Caudle heals right through that. On top of that, Morphling does not care about this type of damage. Same for Bristleback for that matter, so... Yeah, there's just no threat whatsoever from Pirates.
They just don't have that sort of surprise element. You know, that kind of instant catch or instant burst that Nigma Galaxy would therefore be scared of. Yeah, Nigma Galaxy, they're cruising.
Yeah, they have this 5-man lineup with a lot of sustain, a lot of saves from the Naga, right? Heroes that are very difficult to kill in Morphling and Bristleback. But if you compare this game to the last series we just casted, right? That was full of Magnuses, Bat Rider, Storm Spirit, like so many ways of starting the fight. This feels like the complete opposite situation, where Nigma can pretty much do whatever they want the entire game, because they don't have to worry about anything. They can push out layers, they can go hit towers, they can, you know, they can just be super cocky on the map and not really get punished for it.
They're coming in with a smoke now for Pirates. I think, you know, very much feeling that they have to try some sort of surprise play. See what they can get. I mean, they've got eyes on Noob. Same time, Ottica trying to push them back. Noob is kind of just tanking it up. They can't really kill him that easy. Now they'll turn towards him with a bit more firepower. It's not enough to kill him, though. The song comes in from GH. And they'll just back out. Go for the TP, but the Terrorize will come in from outside of the range of the song. So at the least, they'll get GH. A kill's a kill, but the rest of Nigma Galaxy are able to safely disengage.
Yeah. So I guess that's the way you have to take the fight. You gotta just run in there with Weaver, run in there with Timbersaw, make things chaotic, and see if you can pick somebody off. Undying did skill his Tombstone, by the way. So we have a level 1 Tombstone ready to be used.
Definitely knows. It's just hard to have impact as the Undying this game. BKB's now on Ottica, so he'll have a bit more of a better shot of getting stuck in on the front of the team fights. Doesn't have to worry about getting controlled or sort of burst from this high magical that they've got from the likes of the Kotl and the Jakira. And there is the Fulmiona now on Natty Narble. So a big step up in the damage output from this sniper. So if somehow 4Pirates are able to set up the fight in a way that doesn't allow Nigma Galaxy to be able to easily find a sniper, they can get a lot of damage out now.
Yes, we have a lot of damage output coming out from these timings here. Timbersaw also got his Aghanims now, right? So I wouldn't be too cocky on Nigma. Like they can still lose a fight if they get overexcited and allow the 4Pirates heroes to dish out damage. This is a big wrap around here. We were going in first.
We're pretty deep for this. So it feels confident with the BKB and the time that's to rely on. He's going to try and look towards Sumail, pop the BKB off, he's trying to push forward to kill Sumail off. Sumail will buy some time here with the Yule Scepter. As Sumail's able to survive, they couldn't kill him, and now the turnaround's coming into play as they look towards Ottica, kill him off after the BKB and time lapse have been used, and they might even be able to find more ghosts. Turning as the Weaver, closing the gap here with Scucci in the waveform onto Pedanchik, gets the double. They surround Mr. Morale. They're going to be able to kill the Timber as well, as 4Pirates going for maybe a bit of a desperate move there, really trying to just abuse these timings, try and surprise Nigma Galaxy with these pickups with the BKB on the Weaver. It doesn't work out. It just takes far too long to take down Sumail. The damage isn't bad, but under the tier 2, he's able to self-heals himself. It just takes too long for the Weaver to get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, again, it feels almost desperate at this point, right? Going for this type of move. They feel like they have to. They can't just let Nigma do whatever they want. But that draft just does not allow them to make this type of plays and get away with it. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of hate this Weaver hero. I feel like The times we've seen it, they last
Yeah.
with this Weaver in a situation where they're already in trouble in the draft, and this Weaver is just not the hero that's gonna make a big difference. It seems so whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of heroes that can excel. It's like a pub stomp carry, right? You know, if you're in your lane and you're like killing, you know, the enemy offlane duos, like feeding to you, you get ahead, you feel fantastic because of just the mobility. You know, if you're able to sort of get in and get those quick support kills to start the fight, you can snowball the game. But as soon as sort of the times get tough and you're like having to scramble towards like this BKB timing to just be able to survive in the team fight, you just don't sort of have that lead in the damage output, and you're not going to find those kills during the BKB time.
I mean, you need your whole draft to be built around the Weaver, I feel like, for it to work, right? You need to be able to capitalize on his early win in the laning phase, right? Deso timing, have a lot of disables, a lot of supports that can go in for you, some kind of spirit breaker, clockwork type of things, right? Where the Weaver can follow up on it and then get a bunch of kills and get really far ahead. And at that point, Weaver can work, right? So it falls into a little bit the same category as Sniper in this game, right? Sniper has nobody to play around. He has nobody to go in first and stun for him. And the same thing can be said for Weaver. Who's going to help the Weaver catch the guy in the back? There's nobody who can make it there.
No, we saw that play out exactly as in that last play, right? Going for Samael, it's pretty much only him that's able to get in and do anything. You know, Sniper was ready to offer up an assassinate, but even that couldn't come through because of the Yule Scepter. So it's kind of all on the Weaver, all on Otaka to find a kill in the start of these fights. And if he doesn't, the fight's pretty much over for 4Pirates. And tough times for them here. Whilst Nigma Galaxy in a very comfortable spot. It's been a very, very clean game from them so far, and how they've progressed. They don't look to be under any sort of pressure or stress right now. Very relaxed gameplay from Nigma Galaxy. They know what it takes to continue the steps to close this one out. It's gonna. It's very much, you know, 4Pirates. They're the ones sweating, trying to sort of come up with an idea of how to begin some sort of turnaround in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan A and plan B is to hold high ground and play around that and hope for the best. Because I don't, like we have mentioned over and over, there's no really other way to play this draft. You can try to split push, maybe you can cut some waves, things like that. You're gonna have to wait for Nigma to come to you, and that's gonna be an ages as well. That's the second whole shot. Now the banner as well comes into play, right? Now you cannot just sit there and sniper and kill the creeps because they're gonna be invulnerable, right? So actually, I think the banner has proven to be a big factor in recent times in Dota. I feel like people more and more are actually abusing this banner to go high ground early.
And they just get the base for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's happening here from 4Pirates as Nigma Galaxy get a full set top.
So which racks do you defend? Good one?
And we'll see. They've got the Blink Dagger on Mr. Morale, and they have the BKB as well on Natty Narwhal. Trying to push them back. Goes to Noob. Just hitting the objectives, taking the barracks.
Yep.
Natty Narwhal's trying to shoot them, but he doesn't even have the damage himself now.
Yeah.
Barely tickles them. And they can stick around for more here, Nigma. And they pretty much got the luxury to do what they want now with the lead that they have. 12k advantage, 2 sets of racks up. No messing around here from Nigma Galaxy today.
Nah, for sure not. They're just gonna go hit this barracks as well, I think. This is where you might potentially see a fight break out that Blade Mail is also really good here. Sniper already down to half HP off of that. I don't even know if Nigma is interested in even jumping them. They might just focus solely on the buildings. You have a Blink Dagger on Naga, so you can set up something in the base.
The Yule set up into the nice part from Macropire. With the pullback as well with the Will-O-Wisp. We're going to see Ghost getting aggressive here with the BKB. See what he can find. He turns into the sniper. He's sniping. The sniper got sniped. Ghost proving to be the superior sniper in this one. As with the sniper dead, Timber gone. They're probably going to tap out soon. We'll see how much more they want to endure here, 4Pirates. We'll see the buyback come in for the Timber. Like they say, Natty Novel doesn't have the luxury of the buyback. They're throwing the buybacks in, throwing everything they have at Nigma Galaxy. Can they at least get Samael? They can't. Samael's able to walk away. Otska has to back off with the remainder of the BKB. As Nigma Galaxy, they step up, line up the ice path onto Mr. Morale and onto Podanchik. The Undying's dead again. As Ghost ready to play around with them up to the fountain. Same to be said for Noob. They're just adding up the kills here. Nigma Galaxy closing this one up with an extra bit of fun, extra few kills around the fountain. He's into the fountain, Ghost as well, ready to make some dive plays. Might have to be a little bit careful, but hey, who am I kidding? They're 21k up. They're about to get the mega creeps. This game surely in the bag for Nigma Galaxy. They're still trying though, 4Pirates. The buyback comes in. They kill GH. Can they kill anyone else? Natty Novel back in action. Ghost. Waveforms in, look at the burst through. Otska will get back to the fountain into... Oh, careful, okay. That's the Aegis gone. Is there any chance of getting him a second time? Probably not. No, he's forced out back to safety, and Otska just dies in the fountain to a blast from Samael. They'll tap out now. GG's scored. Nigma Galaxy will take this game 1.
Yeah, convincing fashion from Nigma. Must be a nice first game of the day for them. Coming into TI qualifier, right? And once again, and having to play this game, yeah, it's very chill, not too much threat from 4Pirates, and they close it out very cleanly as well.
Yeah, they do. This is, I feel like we definitely, if you kind of rewind a few days, we did have some games, even in the previous qualifiers, right, where Nigma, even in a game like this, maybe things do start to get a bit hairy, but today here with this performance, it looked perfect, right? Step to step. They were not making mistakes. They knew exactly what had to be done. And as soon as they did get to a point where they could almost certainly feel themselves that, hey, this game is ours. 4Pirates can do nothing to stop us. And they really made it look exactly like that, right? They made 4Pirates for the most half of this sort of second bit of this game look completely helpless.
And this was the move right there I saw that broke the game open, right? And then the second kill on Sniper, I think, looked like it pretty much sealed the deal at that point. I don't know, for 4Pirates to win this game, I think they had to come mid with many heroes very early on, like let's say 10 minutes or something like that, and just take this tower and start controlling mid relentlessly with all their heroes and start killing these heroes around mid. Because I think there's no real way otherwise. You've got to play around the Sniper. If both Weaver, Timber, and Sniper farms alone, like they kind of normally want to do, right? That these heroes are designed to be playing alone on the side lanes, farming up, but then Sniper has nobody to play around. So I think that draft just kind of fell apart by the nature of how the heroes want to interact. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad about this if I'm 4Pirates. I would just be like, okay, actually we couldn't do anything. This game was a fluke. Made a mistake in the draft. Let's go next. Let's pick some disables next game. Let's pick a way to kill heroes.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a big change up from them coming into game 2. And standout player, yeah, happy to go with this. Noob on the bristle yet again. You're getting it as first pick. This is probably going to have to be banned out against them, I think. I don't think 4Pirates are going to want to play against Noob Bristle. It's just a little bit too good. It's just such a reliable pick, right, for Noob and for Nigma as a whole.
Yeah, I also don't really like the Undying response much against the Bristleback. I think Bristle doesn't, with the range support like the Kuro was displayed here, he doesn't really care about the K spam early on, I think, and then later on you saw how fast the Undying just dies to the Bristleback, like 2 hits pretty much. So yeah, let's hope for a more competitive game 2.
I hope so. Nigma, though, they'll be happy if they get another one of these ones, because, yeah, this game 1, nice and easy here for Nigma Galaxy as they take the first game of this best of 3 against 4Pirates. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a short break, and then we're going to be back with game 2 of 4Pirates versus Nigma Galaxy.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, high hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Western Europe qualifiers for the International 2025. We're currently enjoying the second series of the day here down in the lower bracket. Nigma Galaxy versus 4Pirates. Game 1, misery. Nigma Galaxy, they look like everything's under control from their side today. Look pretty good.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. If that's Nigma being showing up today, or if it's 4Pirates not showing up as much, that's a bit hard to say. Maybe it could be a bit of both. But yeah, good the first game by Nigma for sure. They are heading on the way to the next day of the qualifier, and yeah, I mean 4Pirates got to bring something out of the hat now if they want to stay in it.
Yeah, I mean, from what we saw from them in the draft in game 1, I think we can definitely expect to see something completely different. You know, I think some of those heroes that they were trying there in that first game are not going to make a reappearance here in this game too. And we know they can give it a better shot because of the performances that we've seen from them on the days previous to this. You know, they can definitely give Nigma Galaxy a bit more of a challenge than they did in this game 1 of the series. So excited to see what they do decide to rest on here going into this game 2. But maybe it just is sort of the drafting. You know, Nigma Galaxy coming in with the bans that they did come in with. Maybe they've just sort of prepared enough for 4Pirates in particular as well that they just sort of know how to break down 4Pirates' options during the drafting phase.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you have to win a qualifier like this and you have to reveal a lot of your heroes, your best heroes, to win every time, then as the tournament progresses, other teams will latch onto what kind of heroes you excel at, right? Like, for example, here with the Dawnbreaker. So I think Nigma probably have looked at 4Pirates games and determined, okay, these are the most successful heroes that you guys have. And then it's, of course, up to 4Pirates from there to bring out something else, right? Because you cannot keep playing the same stuff because there are obviously bans in Dota to take those heroes out. And that is can be a challenge for the newer teams, right? Who perhaps have some good heroes and wins with those, but to have a wider variety of heroes that allows you to mix it up in a series like this.
10 seconds remaining.
Straight in with the bans here. So we'll see what we get this time round. I mean, not getting the Bristol obviously going to be the first big change up we'll see from Nigma's side of things, of that ban being addressed by 4Pirates after Noob's very strong performance in game 1.
And Naga also getting banned out here as a change up. And just to note, first game 4Pirates had the choice of pick and ban, and they chose the Radiant. And Nigma followed up with first pick, and now Nigma chose first pick again. So Nigma obviously prioritizing first pick, and 4Pirates, I think, as one of the only teams, don't care as much about pick, but wants to play that Radiant side. And Nigma pick up their Bat Rider.
The Bat hero we keep seeing, and for good reason. And yeah, never a bad first pick.
5 seconds remaining.
Doesn't give away anything. It's never going to be bad. You're always going to make moves happen with this.
We have not seen the mid Bat Rider in the EU qualifier.
No, not in this region. No.
Nope.
All right, so 4Pirates instantly with the Abaddon. They see the bat. They're like, I don't want to be lassoed. I want to help other people not get lassoed. Abaddon straight away. First pick from 4Pirates.
Yep. I mean, it was also banned in game 1, so perhaps feeling like, okay, we need to actually take this now if we want it. It's gonna get banned second phase. So I can appreciate that. I think if it's Otega's hero, I think it's also nice to set it up for that, so we don't end up with some last pick Weaver. I don't think we want to see that again. I also think that when you pick a Abaddon here, you need to really consider to make sure that you have enough lockdown so that this hero can hit heroes, because he doesn't have catch himself, right? So I really want them to get that this game. Some ways where your heroes are combined in a certain timing in the game, could be 10 minutes, could be 20 minutes, but at some point they come, the 3 cores or 2 cores or whatever it is, come together and they become strong, right? So to play around some timing that, you know, that make it easy for you. Unlike what we saw last game. Klink's getting banned out. First phase, second phase now.
Yeah, I mean, we know Otaka can play a pretty mean Clinks.
So Shaman is still in the pool. The Tusk is still in the pool. The Dark Willow is still in the pool.
Team back.
A lot of the supports. Okay, Tusk gets banned out here. I would also not be surprised to see the Nigma play the IO this game, perhaps,
Okay.
as a response to this Abaddon.
10 seconds
Think
remaining.
Abaddon perhaps not the best hero of killing off by either the IO or the main target. Can easily like run around, kite him, maybe pop his ult, right? Make him feel awkward. Also classic combo with the Bat Rider. Being able to lasso, set up some relocate plays around the map.
Shaman.
So 4 Pirates go for the Shaman.
I always love to see the Shaman. Again, it kind of just feels like the same sort of level as like a Bat or a Tusk, right? The
Yeah.
team that's picked that, it's hard to ever criticize that pick. Even though the Shaman's win rate's not been great overall, I feel like it's never the Shaman's fault. Never the Shaman's fault. We'll get the Doom coming out, and oh, look at that. A bit spicy, coming in with a bit of a different support. We're getting an ET coming in for Nigma Galaxy.
ET is pretty good against Abaddon, I think, overall. Like, you can make him sleep while he's ulted, for example. That's one aspect of it. I think a second way is that if it's an offlane Abaddon, ET absolutely destroys that. Just by running at him, he cannot really fight back. So I think this is a good response. It's also one of GH's classic heroes. So it makes a lot of sense. And then you ban out the Bristleback for Noob. Well, he can also play Doom. So most of the time, I think this is Noob Zero, but they have actually also been playing it on Ghost recently, and they did win that game against VP. So how does 4 Pirates want to respond to this? Right now, they do have the catch in the Shaman. They have this Abaddon. They need to match the team fight, I think, a little bit of Nigma Galaxy. They also don't really have any wave clear between these two heroes. Something that can be scary against a hero like Bat Rider, who, if you can't push out the lanes, then it's quite scary to play against this hero in the mid-late game.
Radiant team pick.
Jakiro. And we saw, obviously, last game, Nigma Galaxy have some fun with this hero. This time, 4 Pirates say, hey, we want to do that ourselves. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's also good against ET, right? Because the attack speed's slow. So perhaps a little bit of a response to the ET.
Seconds remaining.
I imagine they're going to play that in the lane with the offlaner later, going up against the 5 ET. And then maybe play the Shaman into the Bat. But this pick is the harder one, the one where you have to reveal something in the draft, the core reveal. Okay, they're gonna go Void Spirit, so showing up their mid pretty early. I don't remember if these guys are one of the teams that has been playing the Void Spirit carry. Because that is also a thing that some people bust out. I believe maybe it was OG who played it once. I think actually multiple teams have been toying with that idea.
Seconds remaining.
But these guys only played it mid so far.
Okay. Okay, so should, at least from Nigma Galaxy's perspective, give them a pretty clear idea of what to expect towards the end of the draft. Let's see what they want to do against it. What does Samael fancy this time?
Dire team back.
Yeah, go back for the morph. I don't mind it again. Like the only really, it's a good matchup against Abaddon and lane, I would say, especially with the ET, if it is an offlane Abaddon, that is. Of course, there is the Shaman to potentially hex you up. There is the Void Spirit Aghanim's timing that can also be problematic, but overall, with the lineup that you have, I think the Morphling looks pretty strong here. And that does seem like the Doom is going to be offlane then.
5
Unless you want to put Morph mid. I don't know if anyone wants to do that, but Morphling used to be very good against the Ember. Could also maybe be an option against the Void Spirit mid. But most of the time, I mean, we are just going to see Ghost play this Morphling. It is also his signature hero.
Radiant team ban.
On final ban for 4Pirates. They got to seriously consider how they can sort of round up their draft in a way that's going to give them a better chance of shutting down Ghost Morph.
Yeah. Do you pick a
10 seconds remaining.
offlaner or a carry here? That's the question as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so because which of those cores still has like an option available that can do something about the Morph or have a good matchup against the Morphling?
Yeah, right now you definitely cannot do much against him later on in the game when he gets a couple of items. When he gets a Manta style, maybe even a BKB, at that point it's very difficult. So you need a core hero that at least can threaten Morphling later on.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
or you need to pick a hero, an offlane hero for example, that has very clear timings together with the Void Spirit and Abaddon, and then start pressuring the map really heavily around this 20 to 30 minute mark, right? That is potentially an option because you have 2 supports with tower damage as well. So you could look to play a really fast game and try to punish this greed of Doom and Morphling in the same team. So it's either of those two. You need to pick a kind of a win condition type late game hero so you can play the game in a chill fashion, or you need to, double down on the heroes you already have and go in and go all in. As for Nigma, they need to pick a mid hero that
Dire team
perhaps can make up for the greed
pick.
that they have.
All right.
Ember.
That's
Yeah.
that, and that's it, right? Super active mid. It's going to be up and down the map, and will allow for, as long as things don't fall apart, for the space to be there for the Morph and the Doom to farm it up.
10
Oh,
seconds.
Four
Yeah,
Pirates.
looks pretty solid. Looks very solid for Nigma. Also good Ember, very good with ET.
Seconds remaining.
The Spirit amping him up a lot as well. It seems like 4Pirates know what they want. They look ready, determined.
Now select your
It's
hero.
the Ursa. Okay, so they go with the carry and throwing out the Abaddon into the offlane here. It's a pretty good Ursa game. The only problem early game could be the Bat Rider potentially, but he's gonna have a pretty good time against the Doom, I would say. That lane could go rough, potentially, actually, now that I think about it, just because of the bad X Factor, but we'll see how that goes. Overall, apart from that, I think it's a good Ursa game. Also a hero that can beat the Morphling later on. Yeah, better draft overall for Pirates this game. No doubt about that. But is it good enough to take out Nigma in this game, where Nigma also has a lot of their signature heroes and a lot of a very solid draft overall? I'm skeptical. I think Nigma are the better team. I think just the fact that they have such a solid draft this game makes me doubt all Pirates. But it's definitely better than game one.
It is. And I think, if we hadn't sort of seen game one from 4Pirates, we maybe have a bit more hope with them having this sort of lineup. But they did look shaky game one. It is a better draft. But as you say, is it going to be enough to take down Nigma Galaxy? He looked very, very in the zone today with that game one performance. I think a lot's going to rest sort of on what Natty Narble's going to be able to do from the mid on the Void Spirit, how well he's going to be able to come out on top of Semail's Ember. In this heads up matchup 1v1 in the mid lane, because they're going to need him to do a lot, right? Because we're talking sort of about the greediness of Nigma Galaxy side lanes and pressure on the Ember to play. It's sort of the same right for 4Pirates, right? Because for the most part of the early game, you're going to have this Ursa and Abaddon. Abaddon's going to be trying to get a Radiance. Ursa's trying to get his Battle Fury Blink.
Yeah.
A lot of it's on the Void Spirit plus the 2 supports.
Exactly. I think that's exactly the point. That actually 4Pirates, they have catch, they have damage and stuff like this, but they all sort of need some time to get online. And even Void Spirit needs, some goals. He needs the Aghanims before he starts threatening them off, right? And I don't know if that's a little bit too slow against Nigma's draft. I think Nigma, they don't need that much time for their heroes to become very powerful. But let's see, there's actually a smoke action onto Nigma here. Both teams has 5. But Danchik could be in trouble. They see the ward.
I do want to get that D ward, but they're protecting it, and they'll be able to make sure they take that away. So Nigma Galaxy not going to get the luxury of taking it out themselves. Let's see, getting into this. So game 2, ladies and gentlemen, here. Nigma Galaxy versus 4Pirates. 4Pirates lose this, will be the end of the road for them, and they have had some highlights here in the regional qualifiers, so will be a bit of a sad end for them. But obviously for Nigma Galaxy, this is a team, organization, players that very much have their sights set on qualifying and nothing less. So they're definitely going to be giving 4Pirates another hard matchup here in this game too.
See, both teams are using the level 1 blocking to try to get the lane back. First get your lane into tower, and then the lane's gonna push back into you, so you can get lane control very early on. Both teams also having success doing so.
I think looking at the lane setup again, another sort of situation where you imagine the top Ghost is going to have a pretty fine time in the lane.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's very hard for Secure Abaddon to pressure him off at all. It has to happen very, very early on, at least, then level 1, level 2, but seeing as Morphling already, you know, is stabilizing the lane from here, I think Ghost should be very happy here. Bottom lane is probably the one that's a little more fragile. I think that one can go both ways. Ursa can get pressured by the bad Doom, but at the same time, if Doom or Bad steps out of position, you can get shackled up, and Ursa can claw you down, right? So this lane should be determining.
And when you look at the mid matchup as well, is there any sort of solo kill potential in the lane between these two spirits?
Don't think that's going to be that much happening here as well. I think they're just going to get their bottles, right? They're going to trade water runes. Potentially we could see like a Jakiro run over towards mid, or potentially Shaman, and then something could happen like that. We also see a lot of Bat Riders actually choosing to go mid early in our series. I think we saw it multiple times. So something like that can interrupt the matchup. But if nothing happens, I imagine it's a pretty 50-50 trading farm type of matchup.
Yeah, so far on the CS, pretty even here between Samel and Natty Noble. Natty Noble just with a few more denies. Bottom. And she's using the shackles here to try and secure some denies here for the two of them against the lane. So far 9 and 2 against the 11 and 2. They have got the creep wave coming in on them, so seems to be pretty close down on the bottom side. Top lane Ghost just getting a little more of the denies in against that of the off-lane duo here of 4Pirates. Oh, so it was the last game. I had a pretty quiet early game, and once things started to really get moving, it very much was Nigma Galaxy taking each step towards the victory, and whilst 4Pirates didn't really have measures of slowing them down. It's in the mid, somehow. It's going to be fine here. It's got the bottle charges as well, so we'll be able to stick around no problem. And bottom lane getting a bit aggressive up towards the tower, but not quite yet ready to be able to dive. We'll keep the sticky napalm stacks up onto Attica. Not able to make the move though at the moment, and they don't wish to either. They're going to wait at least until the boots are out and noob before they start making those sort of plays.
Lane's looking really good for Nigma right now. I think all three of their cores top CS, and I don't know if that's going to really change. You see Doom already with a double bracer, full HP. Top lane as well, like we talked about. It's going to be very hard to pressure Morphling from here.
There goes. Easily able to back off any time they try and advance towards him. As the bottom lane Oftica definitely have to be a bit more careful about how he approaches the farm. Especially once the level 3s there on the bat as well. Could start to threaten down on this bottom lane Nigma Galaxy. Mid lane, they'll get the setup on Samel again, but still not quite at a point where the burst is enough. Samel soon to hit the 5 himself, then should have a pretty hefty amount of damage output. That's the level 5 Ember to trade back with the Void Spirit. And bottom is...
Feels like when
It should be fine here.
Bottling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cut. It's definitely getting more and more difficult for him to step up, though. Noob pretty beefy on the Doom, so little chance of 4Pirates getting aggressive on the Doom themselves.
Yeah, it is quite scary for us. He can easily get frame break back and ran down by the scorched earth.
We're seeing on the numbers just yet that little progress. 5 minutes in, no kills to be had, but we're already coming up to about that 1k gold lead for Nigma Galaxy just on the CS alone. Mid again, trying for the setup onto Samael, but man, nothing more than just a little bit of harassment. It's getting a good amount of denies against Samael in this matchup. That's why we're seeing Natty now will have that about a quarter of a level XP advantage ahead of him. Bottom lane, try and get aggressive for the kill. They will get it. Can Ottica get out though? He's going to try and get a few hits in onto Noob. He'll end up dying for it. GH are going to chase down over towards the Shaman. The Infernal Blade comes in. It's going to be Pedantic falling. They're trying to kill GH here with the right clicks. They will get him. So it ends up 2 for 2. That's ultimately is Noob as the core surviving, whereas Ottica did end up dying. Rotation's coming in though. That's going to be a big one to find here under the tower, and he'll find it. So with that move coming in at the end of it, they'll definitely take that play for Pirates. Natty Narwhal making sure that the trade does favor them overall.
Nice timed haste rune there for the Void Spirit, right? Allowing that kill to come through. And he's not even going to lose any creeps from this as well, because the catapult's tanking them up, right? That was a big rotation from 4Pirates. By the way, we have an urn onto the Abaddon. That's kind of an interesting one. Not something that I've seen before, I think.
Oh. I mean, the two of them obviously getting aggressive around the 7-minute wisdom. Maybe seeing if they can step up for it. But Pedancic's going to die underneath the tier 1 tower. And Ariel, is he going to be able to get away from this? He's got a hefty amount of stacks of napalm on him. He's going to try for the Dukes to the north, and it will work out. But he doesn't have a TP. So we'll see what the plan is here from Ariel. Might just be to deny him or sort of kill himself to the tower. He could try and walk it off. He's going to find a courier. So he'll get something for his time up here. From Ghost.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to get out of here.
Yeah, Ghost is going to be fine. Might even be able to turn it into a little bit of a rotation over towards the mid, because Samael's pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 1 charges. Sort of a random dual breath coming in there from the tree line. It's not going to be enough to kill him. It does get awfully close, though. And nearly that surprise Jakiro play catching out off Samael. But he'll be able to reset, get the Remnant down, get back to the base, TP in, TP out, Remnant jump back. And the powering coming in. We saw Omar coming in to try and help Samael out to get the power in, but Natty Null was able to pick it up. Ariel really wants to kill Omar, and he will get him in his dying breath. Natty Null was come across. He has to jump away with the Astral Step, though. He's a little too low on the HP to play a part in this fight.
Abaddon is here. Ready to brawl. Leaving the top lane. Has an urn. So this is a different style of Abaddon. Maybe looking to be a bit more active, right? Maybe turning it into a vessel even against the Morphling.
Yeah, I mean, do you sort of like that he's going for this kind of get involved and play style rather than trying to get a Radiance and trying to sort of scale?
I think it's kind of like, it really just depends on how the game goes, right? It can work, but it can also backfire.
Look at the killed Salt there. The undamaged coming into play here, so they're able to take down Ghost. Even throw down a tip as well here, so feeling pretty confident with the moves. You can maybe put some pressure onto the tier 1 tower top. And so GH, of course, trying his best to bail them out. They did come in with a stomp, but not quite able to get it in time. So Ghost does get taken out. Big kill here for 4Pirates to find. Slowing down the Morphling.
I think it's kind of an interesting idea, this game, just because of the greediness of Nigma's draft, right? I see also Ursa getting active here. Getting more and more kills here. That's It's a good way of doing it. You also enable your supports. Like we talked about it last game. They didn't really have a good way to enable the supports or the supports to enable their cores. But this time around, when their cores are being so active, the supports are very happy, right? To be hitting these towers, getting levels, playing aggressive. So I think in this particular game, this approach from Abaddon, going the what's it called, the urn and the drums, is actually gonna be good. Nigma's heroes wanna just sit and farm quietly in their lanes. Bottom now.
That's the setup. Podanchik in with the TP, has the catch with the shackles. Put the damage to bring Doom down. Backups on the way. Samel's got an arcane rune. He's going to be ready to play. He's in with the chains onto the three of them. He gets the setup with the remnant. They'll get the Doom drop down into Mr. Morale. But the borrowed time is there. Samel, can he dive in for more? He can't. The numbers have turned up now. It's going to be 4 Pirates claiming the life of Omar. They get the Hex onto Samel. Nothing else to catch him though, so Samel will still be able to jump away at the remnants. But again, 4 Pirates with these early responses coming out on top of the trades. Getting the advantage now.
I think another reason why this type of play actually works so well is that, and why we are talking about it is because that we don't really see that type of stuff that much, right? Most of the time, the Abaddon would just sit forever and farm this Radiance. So it's gonna catch Nigma off guard a little bit. It's a bit unorthodox way of playing right now in the meta. But they're getting good kills out of this. Of course, the problem with these type of items is that they don't necessarily scale if the game slows down. Abaddon has no ult here.
Nah, he should be dead for sure.
Yeah.
So Nigma Galaxy are straight back in on that bottom lane as soon as they realized that Mr. Morale was going to stick around. Still holding the high ground. I mean, Podanchik and Aero, maybe see if they can find some. They don't have Macro Pipe, but they do have the Serpent Warp ready to play. It's a little bit risky. So they'll stay hidden on the high ground. To say, just in case someone sort of steps away. Maybe they could try for a play onto Noob. Do they have enough damage with the ward? Or maybe just with the TPs? Yeah, they don't want to drop the ward. They're just going to rely on the TPs. The Remnant grabs down to Noob, but the lasso is out onto Podanchik. Now he'll drop the Serpent ward. The damage coming in is enough to help bring down Noob. Samel's got to be careful. He's trying to see if he can finish off Podanchik, but Podanchik's going to live there thanks to the Aphotic Shield on Mr. Morale. And now Samel's getting chased down. He's still got a couple of Remnants ready to play with. So will manage to escape. But a good setup there from 4 Pirates. Yeah, Podanchik just knowing that the TPs were going to be up. He could get in, just slam down the Serpent Ward and bully Nigma Galaxy back out this area of this map.
Yeah, this looks to be maybe another tower kill here if they actually want to commit to it. Looks like they would rather invade and try to contest some of these stacks.
Back out just in time because Noob Doom is back online in about 5 seconds. So 4 Pirates have to bear that in mind. Samel trying with the catch on towards Mr. Morale. And the shield's there, and borrowed time is back up. So it's going to once again be a bit of a difficult move to make into the safe lane of 4 Pirates.
Of course, all this space created by 4 Pirates leads Ursa to be happily farming away towards his battle fury, but of course Morphling as well. Not taking part in any of this.
They're watching bottom. I mean, if GH can sort of get some sort of stomp set up, maybe Noob can get in and go for the Doom, but the problem is that they've got the numbers down here, 4 Pirates. Yeah, Mr. Morale and Podanchik ready to help. Podanchik's going to have the Serpent Ward up again in a second, and we saw just sort of how explosive that was in the fights, and yeah, he'll just drop it down for the push. So what are you going to do? Do you want to hit the Serpent Ward off to the side? GH has been found. They've got eyes on him. They drop down the Macropier. GH is gone. Oh, yeah, this Serpent Ward's going to be able to easily finish off the Tier 1 tower. So the players continue to come in here from 4 Pirates, holding the lead.
Yeah, making a lot of use of this this early aggression here. Ember tipping over for the Wisdom, but Shaman is here.
Some out. Very close to the blade, Mike. Obviously, you know, the Ursa's getting the space. Ghost also getting the space. It's definitely going to be a bit of a trickier game for him to carry in comparison to the last one, because this time round, 4 Pirates are going to have their items online. They've got a lot of heroes that can make moves, as we've been seeing. Great catch, great damage. 4Pirates definitely
Yeah.
giving Nigma Galaxy a bit more of a fight this time round.
Ghost is farming, but I think more important in this game is what happens with the 4-on-4 basically. But Danchik is getting caught here.
Yeah, they're just letting him go.
They're just gonna leave him, yeah. Also, almost have Aghanims up on Void Spirit.
That's just super quick. Super quick timing in this game from Natty Narwhal. Because had great timings on the sniper last game, but his game did start to fall off. This time, much less likely, which is sort of how powerful the Void Spirit with the Aghanims is going to be when it comes online this early. And Nigma Galaxy are trying to see if they can maybe get Ottica top, but... they got the lasso before the enrage. It's a good catch. He'll get the enrage off now, but the sleep into the stomp is there. They've got him. Nigma Galaxy. Getting the big kill, taking that Ursa off the map. That's a painful 30 seconds where he can't be hitting the creeps, but Ghost certainly can.
Yep, nice pick from them. Do have the Void Spirit Aghanims coming out right now, so again, I think we're gonna see 4Pirates look to be super aggressive here. We already have a smoke up on Pedantic. Jakiro TPing over. Maybe they don't even need to smoke, they could just run at them there.
There's the jump. Initial silence is the secondary one. The Grey Monsters come out in time, they've got the Hex and the Shackle. The lockdown is not enough though. Samael's having to get the Sleight of Fist. Jumps out with the Remnant. Samael's away. They tried to throw everything they could there onto the Ember, but it wasn't quite enough to kill him.
Yeah, I think the chain stun wasn't quite there. He managed to get his shield and blade mail off, and at that point he just becomes so tanky, so nice reaction from Nigma there. They do only get that 1 kill on Shaman, so I'm sure once Shaman is up again, he's gonna look to take that snake to use, potentially eyeing mid tower. Also got the Vessel up on Abaddon coming out on Curry, I believe, so 4Pirates have a strong timing now.
Omar will have the blink ready for the next move with the stack being cleared. Or at least he'll be very close to as long as Samael gives him the last hit, and he does. There we go. Just 50 gold inside the circle if he wants to get it ASAP. Just clear up the next creep. We've got eyes on towards Ghost. Natty Narwhal making the moves over, but GH is by Ghost's side. Just getting the space here for the Roshan, with Serpent board down. Nautica in the pit as the Ursa. This will be the Aegis for 4Pirates without Nigma Galaxy being able to do anything about it.
Alright.
They could definitely try and push on for some aggressive plays with the Aegis, because the Blink Dagger timing for Ottica's pretty much there. So he can very much look to get involved, stuck in, join to these fights. At a point where Ghost himself on the other side still doesn't want to quite be involved too heavily. Still needs about 1,300 gold until he has the Manta. Which of course very important when he's playing against such items as the Vessel. And the silence, of course, of the Resonant Pulse with the Aghanims on Natty Narwhal. See the mid. Ow! Okay,
Nice
easy
to
shield. That's going to be the problem here. The Abaddon always around with the answer when these lassos are attempted.
I guess that's another plus of playing Abaddon like this, is that you're actually playing with your team. You're not all farming Radiant somewhere, right? You're ready with that shield when it comes in. And this, I think this is a good opening for 4Pirates to actually take down this mid tower now. Potentially look to be aggressive with some kills as well here. You see the two-man smoke from Ursa and Shaman elsewhere on the map, onto the Doom bottom potentially here, and while also being very aggressive mid, so this is a nice setup here actually by them. They did spot him on the ward too, so Noob is really in trouble here. Oh, well done, though.
He's going to be out.
Yeah, well done. Tornado into quick drums and run away.
Yeah, very smooth moves there from Noob on the retreat. He's ready to join Ghost up top. Ghost, he's pretty much crossed that hurdle now. Yeah, 100 gold and he'll have Manta online. They do see Natty Narwhal walking up. Can Noob get the initiation here? He's out to the side. The second astral step will get him a little bit further away. Should be enough to stay safe. Omar still trying to jump in and block him off. By time for Noob to close in. We'll see. Ottica, he's not going to get the chance to jump up, but probably for the best. I said that he actually wants to get in and fight this.
Long TP.
He's gone for the TP and it's way too long. He just tears him apart with the swipe stacking up. They didn't even need the Remnant to connect. He was already dead. From the damage of
They
this
TP
Ursa.
They all TP'd bottom, didn't they?
Yeah, they must have done.
I think.
They were
Yeah,
going the
it
same
was such a long
spot.
TP. Might have even been like a 5-second, 6-second TP.
Wow, that's...
Unfortunate there. After making very smooth moves bottom, then getting stuck up top and ends up dying anyways.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's really up to Nigma to try to avoid this next few minutes here of aggression. 5 to 10 minutes. If Nigma can survive that, they're in a good spot, but not necessarily going to be easy. 4Pirates going to be very aggressive here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, there's the jump top. Push them out. Ready with the remnant. It's away from Motica.
So see the when Nigma are itemizing, they understand that the pressure is coming in, right? Ember is going straight BKB. Doom is going straight BKB. No funny businesses with Radiance or Maelstrom or anything like that. Just make sure that the next 5 to 10 minutes they're able to fight back,
Dire's turret
and
has
then
been killed.
Ghost will carry. Or their draft in its entirety, I guess, will carry. Because their draft scales really
Radiant's
well this
bottom
game.
tower is under attack.
Top ender is up and Nigma not really in position to contest.
I'm coming with the smoke, but yeah, this Tormentor getting killed off very quickly by the Ursa. They could still look for a move. Obviously, it's coming at this time. Still a minute on the Aegis, so still a bit of an awkward time for Nigma Galaxy to make the smoke jump. Does sit behind Samel, maybe see if they can sort of play for a bait.
Dire
but-
are scanning.
It's a 5-man move here for 4Pirates.
Samel? Caught by the Hex, but they don't want to go for anything more on him. On the side, Omar's going to be able to get jumped by Otica. Immediately jumps over the wards and they're killed off the bat. Great preparation there from Otica. As soon as he sees the bat, he's on top of him, and Omar doesn't stand a chance for the fight.
Flipper is not done here. He's very aggressive here. Unlikely to kill anyone off here, though.
Oh, but the
he
Hex!
got the Hex!
He did. Patanchik gets him with the jump. The stomp will come out. GH bailing Samel out.
Barely moves out of range there, Pedanchik. Very close, actually, for getting away from the Spirit. That's a tier 2 down. Because Ghost not flinching for a second. He just keeps hitting creeps, not reacting to any of this.
And he's hitting those timings. The next one's the big one. You know, once he's got that butterfly online, that is definitely the point where he can turn up these team fights, and he maybe not quite 1v5ing, but maybe a 1v4, almost certainly a 1v3. Like, that Morphling is going to hit that timing that is going to be difficult for them to deal with, unless they get sort of that instant catch onto him. That's going to be the big thing we've got to watch out for, right? If Ghost turns up and we're seeing sort of Pedanchik get the chance to get the jumps, which he's been very good at so far. He's now going to be the one to get jumped, though. They're trying to step up to save him. They get the shield upon him, but it won't keep him alive, and now it might even put Mr. Morale in danger as well. Ice Bar from Macropire comes down, and look at jump the Resident Pulse Silence, but the BKB's there from Noob. Buyback comes in from Pedanchik. Noob, maybe see if he can get in position to drop down at Doom, but it's not going to be the case as BKB's starting to come to an end. He has to run. They'll back away Enigma Galaxy. They get a kill. They force out a buyback. And they still have their Doom ready to drop. Sticking around maybe, in fact, as well, in case...
Another smoke.
Yeah, 4Pirates, they want to try and fight this. Samel's going to reveal this entire smoke. But catch up with the Ice Path and the Resident Pulse Silence. It's a lot of damage onto Samel. Samel will get the BKB off, but he's dead. Otica jumps in, finishes him off. They get the Doom dropped down onto Mr. Morale. But Omar is controlled by Aerial, and Pedanchik, he'll die to the side of the fight. Pedanchik's Serpent Ward, it takes Noob down. And Mr. Morale, he's going to survive. The Doom damage alone was not enough to kill him. Nigma Galaxy choosing to stick around. Samel trying to get in there, but he gets completely controlled, and by the time the BKB gets pressed, it's far too late.
Yeah, he has to press the BKB pretty early this game because there is a lot of disables, right? Like we just saw. And one Ice Path is enough to set up a very, very long chain stun.
Yeah.
So I think that was a little bit of a blunder by Samel not clicking that early. If he pops it straight away, I think he's completely free in this fight to do what he wants and set up a much better scenario for his team there. But nonetheless, Morphling still ends up cleaning up the Ursa in the backline there. And not the end of the world for Nigma, but still, I mean, we see a 4K lead now for 4Pirates.
Well, I think, you know,
Top lane.
see if he can get the kill here. He's got borrowed time in 3, 2... a second too long until it was back up for Mr. Morale as Nigma able to strike.
One lane now.
Not a second too
Morphling being
late.
aggressive. Okay.
See what they, because still, as you said, the 3K lead, but it's just the fact that overall, Ghost, he is at the top. The butterfly is going to come very, very shortly. And he's a big problem. If they're dropping everything to kill Sumail and Sumail dies, maybe at the end of the day, it's not going to matter if the morph survives.
I agree. I mean, Morphling is still susceptible to getting hexed and silenced up by the Void Spirit, right? But I think what's going to happen is Doom and Ember are just going to go in with their BKBs and force these spells to be used early, right? And then suddenly Morphling is completely free to choose where he wants to go and when. Abaddon Net Worth definitely seeing the suffering from the item build, but he is eyeing up that Radiance. And of course he's not too far behind from the Doom and the Ember, to be honest. Jakiro, however, is becoming a core in his own right? Got that Hurricane Pike, is scaling into the late game potentially with the Twin Terror and double trouble. Facet and inlay here. Kind of wave and scale. He did get the shot earlier though, so that's part of sort of inflated.
Nigma Galaxy. Can they get the jump? Ariel in good position to sort of disrupt the smoke here from the pit. And Sumail will spot them out now. He get caught by the ice path. Puts the blade starting to lose a lot of his health. We'll see in the pit the BKB pop. Noob trying to go all in to kill this Jakiro. They'll get the stomp onto him, and now Ultra makes the jump, and he's in onto Noob. Noob's dead. And now with the Hex onto Omar, they can turn for more. They kill off the bat. Mr. Morale heading out of the fight, trying to survive for the last moments of the Doom. Nautica. The rest of the BKB will keep himself far enough distance away from GH. The Serpent Ward's been dropped down. The Hex comes into play. The Shackle's there as well. Pedantic surviving. Following up with a lockdown onto Ghost. Ghost, he'll kill off the Shaman. See if Ghost can clean this one up. The Remnant will hold him in position, but indeed Natinawa has to jump away from the Morphling. Heavy casualties from both sides here. 3 for 3, but it does... I mean, Ghost was thinking about maybe going into the pit there, but could be a little too risky. These fights, they're proving to be incredibly close between the two teams.
So close indeed. I think maybe also you could criticize the way the fight started for Nigma, right? Running into that pit, chasing that Jakiro so relentlessly into that pit, definitely backfiring for Noob, getting clawed down by the Ursa. Of course, Morphling did get the angle that we talked about earlier off the back of that, but gotta be careful. That was maybe a little bit too close for comfort for Morphling, also going down towards the end there. Butterfly's up. Should be coming on Courier right now, yeah, for Morphling. So is Roshan. Nigma has a very nice ward, scouting everything. They just dewarded one in the river as well, so it's very unlikely they're going to be even anticipating that there is a ward on the high ground too.
Yeah, that's
a very big moment for Nigma here.
Yeah,
get a nice initiation.
They definitely gonna want to bring a fight here.
In this Void Spirit though.
Now we're getting some decent information back the way of 4Pirates. He'll end up revealing himself though, feels they're likely to have detection down on Nigma Galaxy. And yeah, you can see 4Pirates very much respecting the fact that this is not a chance for them to sort of brute force the Roshan. To sit back, another smoke up from Nigma Galaxy. They feel very, very strong now with the timings, with the Butterfly on Ghost. They want to get stuck in for a team fight, and they've got all the ults back up. Doom's ready to go.
Still this ward. Void Spirit could get doomed up here. It's not careful.
And they're Lasso's there, dragging Natinawa away from any potential safety. He is gone. Now with the jump here, maybe Noob seeing if we can get another, but he's also happy with the fact that they just get that one kill. We'll set that up for them to go for the Roshan. I would imagine 4Pirates still might try something here with the 4 of them.
Sure, Jakiro's in a very good spot.
That's a good Macropire. And then the Ice Buff, a lot of damage. Hex as well onto Ghost, who will be shifting up and get out of there. The Doom's going to get dropped onto Mr. Morale. Borrowed Time will kick and buying some safety, and Otska's managed to make the jump on a noob, kill him off. The Roshan goes to Pedantic. He finishes it off with the Serpent, picks up the Aegis. They get the Roche, and Mr. Morale, is he going to die to the Doom? He will die to the last tick of the Doom. Otska does still end up dying as they commit him with the BKB on Samel's Ember Spirit. So Nigma Galaxy, they won't get the Roche or the Aegis, but they do certainly take the team fight.
They get the much bigger prize there. I mean, Ghost is just so strong. Ursa cannot do anything when Morphling goes on him there. He dies so quickly when he's not enraged. And the Aegis on Shaman, I mean, it does not really matter, does it?
We're seeing...
The bigger deal here is the Morphling.
Yeah, just the amount that he's cleaning up from these fights, Ghost.
He's also not being too cocky here on Morphling. Understanding that he can die to even just a Shaman and a Voice Spirit potentially, so waiting for his teammates to be around before he proceeds here.
We'll see it again in the replay. Sweet little moves from Pedantic. He's like, right, well, I'm grabbing the Aegis, I'm finishing the roast job. But obviously the rest of the team does fall apart around him. Mr. Morale, it literally was the last tick of doom that kills him off. And then at that stage, yeah, Otska just gets destroyed by the damage output from Ghost. This Morphling punches like an absolute truck. Oh, quite the reaction there as well. Off the back of that last one. And it was a rough fight for 4Pirates. And the overall outcome, and they know it. This Morph, how are they going to deal with Ghost? Pedantic's been getting some crazy catches. He's got to continue it. Well, he's actually able to just walk up and get a Hex here, but it's in a position where they're not ready to go for more. They don't quite have the damage up, but they need really Otska around. Otska's going to try and look for Omar, but Omar actually able to get the blink out away from him.
I think 4Pirates are running out of damage a little bit. It kind of has to come from the... A lot of it has to come from Ursa, right? Both the fights we saw now, he kills off the Doom really quickly, but then after that his BKB and Enrage are out, and now the Morphling is king. Let's see the smoke again here. 5-man smoke. See the ET, that's a good target.
Oh, they get an instant catch again here. GH gone. Can they turn this into anything more? Smell gets the BKB off. They look towards Pedantic. Pedantic will get healed up for now by Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale able to give him a little longer to live. But the Doom drop down onto Natty Narble. The Void Spirit's out of the fight. They'll turn over towards the Pedantic Shaman, take the Aegis out of his hands, and ready to take him down a second time. The rest of them have to somehow get out of it, but GH, he's got the setup on him. Okay, at least forces the BKB to come into play. He's going to go for the BKB TP out. He will make it back to base safely, but the rest of 4Pirates, again, kind of in shambles. These team fights, not easy for them to play out. They have no way to deal with the Morphling. And it feels like this is just going to continue to happen. These 5v5s are so hard for 4Pirates to take right now.
Yeah, they are. And just the fact that every fight noob ends up dooming the Abaddon or the Void Spirit in this case means that, yeah, it's just the damage is lacking. Like the impact from that hero just, disappears just like that. Yeah, I think it looks to be a tough game for 4Pirates to fight in. There's something about their heroes that just seems worse than Nigma's. It's easier to execute for them. Top lane though, they're not gonna stop. They're gonna continue to fight back.
Just keep fighting. Yeah, because if they do kill Ghost, then there's definitely the chance. Like somehow this Morphling needs to die for 4Pirates to have a bit of a hope in these team fights. Gonna come with the jump clear to the side. Noob's ready to dive to tier 2. They're just going straight in. They get the sleep setup on towards Mr. Morale. Ghost turning towards him, pushing back against the Abaddon. Noob will die for this dive though. That's the Doom gone for 70 seconds. They'll absolutely take that 4Pirates and they'll see if they can maybe turn it into more. They've got eyes on towards Samel. They could jump. They get the first silence, but Samel still with the remnant of the ready will get away to the side. Otska's trying to tackle Ghost, but Ghost, he's ready to turn back towards him. Ghost moving back in underneath the tier 2 tower. He's in with the waveform, cleans up the Ursa kill. Ghost backs away here with the Hurricane Pike. They'll get the Ice Path catch on him towards him. Set up here for the splitter coming in from GH. Not going to get the grab onto anyone, but the waveform's back up and Ghost finds another hit. Samel finishes the kill. They take out Aerial. They get the flame break knocked back into the chains onto the two of them as Nigma Galaxy cleaning up, diving up into the high ground beyond the tier 3s. Triple kill for Samel as Nigma get the team wipe. They're ready to push in the top. And again, 4Pirates, you got to hand it to them. They're making sure they turn up for the fights. They're trying to give it their best shot, but they just can't do it right now. Misery.
Nah, they can't. Every fight seems very close though, right? It's like they barely squeeze the win, but it's just not enough. And just you see it again. Morphling gets the top of Ursa, and Ursa cannot fight back at all. It doesn't have MKB yet. You're just losing the man fight, and it goes pretty much just solo kills the Ursa in that fight. But the initial situation with Doom going down on the tier 2 looked pretty good for 4Pirates. But that's going to be a Rax, as well as a 26k net worth Morphling at 35 minutes. Level 25 as well. Now he has the waveform cooldown talent as well. So it's 7-second cooldown waveform. He's a problem. He's a big problem for them.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, 4Pirates very much the backs against the wall here. They lose this game, they're out. They're out of the runnings for this year's TI. Can they somehow pull this one out of the bag and get the turnaround? It's going to be quite the comeback if they do, considering this dominant position that Nigma and Ghost is in particular is in right now. 25, pretty much has the full Satanic.
These wards from Nigma are also really good this game, right? The one on the high ground earlier that got them the Roach fight. Now these ones in between tier 2, tier 3, and then the one on the high ground there. It's like really, really strong warding by Nigma this game. They're getting undetected as well, which is even worse.
Nope. He's going to find the jump. Gets the Doom down onto Natty Narwhal. Is there any way out for him? There is not. The lasso's there. There's the Void Spirit gone for a minute. No buyback.
Sumail as well on the backline got the damage here.
And they're ready to keep it go from the side. Yeah, it just continues for Sumail with the Aghanims ready to go. Remnant to Remnant diving in. We'll see how much more they want to endure here. 4Pirates, if they've got anything left in the tank, they'll try and get the Ice Buff out on the two of them, but with the Shield Rune on the Morphling, pretty much infinite HP.
Look at this Jakiro.
And Ghost, he's ready to die. He's going in for the kills. He's going to look towards... Oh, okay. Does get caught by the bash. Right, be a little bit careful. We'll be able to slide out in time. But you can see it. You can feel it here. Nigma Galaxy know that this win is right round the corner. There's still tier 2s in the other lanes, so we won't get any GGs probably coming out soon. They're going to play on. And maybe... Okay, hold up. Hold the phone. What have we got here? We've got Otter can get in one of them. The Hex. They've got the Hex set up, but they won't be able to get anything else. The Lotus Orb is there protecting Ghost. They do kill Omar. Ghost is going to go for the TP up with the Ice Bar.
Got him.
Oh, they catch him in the trees. The Hex, they've got what? Never mind. Hold the phone. When you thought it was over, you thought they won the game. They might not have. It does happen sometimes with Nigma Galaxy. So we got to see what happens from this. That's a big kill.
The Morphling was inside of the fountain.
He was.
A minute ago. And now he's dead. So
yes.
We gotta...
Oh.
This is the beginning of the comeback. This is the beginning of 4Pirates qualifying for TI right here. This is how it starts.
This is the beginning of them winning TI.
This is it.
This is it. The beginning of the story. You can start the highlight reel with that fight. When they're claiming this, we got what's going to happen now. Right, Nigma Galaxy, they've been playing this whole series today very cool. That a bit of a slip up, as you said, they're in the fountain. You shouldn't be in the fountain, should you, Misery? There's never a good reason to be in the fountain.
Celebrating the win there in the fountain. But that's an MKB on Ursa, by the way. So now he can actually potentially fight back this Morphling.
Yeah, they can kill the Morphling now. Like that's the concern for Ghost. Like he can die now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. 20 seconds still without Ghost as well. Everyone's up on 4Pirates.
They're smelling blood here. Morphling is still dead.
Yeah. Hey, he's in. He's just going for it. He's in with the BKB. He's going to be able to take down GH. Can they try and push for more? GH is now out for 90 seconds. No buyback on him. So Ghost is going to be back up for 5 seconds. But again, it's going to be a whole minute and a half or so where Nigma Galaxy They're only going to have 4 up. There's 5 of them on 4 Pirates. And
Roche.
4 Pirates, they can go to Roche. They're going to get this Aegis and Refresher Shard for them. They're smoking up Nigma Galaxy. They're going to try and head over here as quickly as they can. Well, I think, well, unless Samel can go for some crazy
Samel's
steal.
gonna go in.
He's going to try, he's going to jump in. He's going to be getting against them onto all of them.
Oh, you got
Roche
it.
falls. Ottika gets the Aegis. Samel in with the blade mount.
The
But he's
cheese.
going to the back. Samel's
No
dead.
way, the cheese.
Samel is dead. Noob is so low. He has to beat
Noob is dying to the snake.
The fight. They'll kill off the Ursa once, but Noob is gone. Samel will buy back. They've got to kill Ottika a second time, and they will. All right. So Otika's now out for good. Dead for 2 minutes.
Okay. Let's all just calm down, guys.
Yeah.
Nigma is not gonna throw this one.
They sure do know how to give their fans out there a heart attack, this team.
For sure. I mean, Ursa actually
Yeah.
ended up having a refresher shard in his inventory
Yep.
just slightly before he died with 1 second cooldown, where he could have refreshed, BKB'd and raged again, killed the Morphling, and then killed the throne.
That would have been clutch.
Nigma. Yeah, that would have been
If we
clutch.
could do that.
But, it's close.
Let's see what they can do now. 3 of
If they
them.
can hold,
If.
then Noob has no buy and
Samel doesn't
has
either.
no buy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a big if. It's a very big if.
It's a pretty big if, yeah.
It's a smaller if Ghost ends up diving the fountain again, but I think he won't do that.
They're gonna go dive it a little bit, yeah. Slow.
Look at the lasso. We'll be able to drag in the dragon and kill off Ariel. And Samel Gunny just get caught by the silence to refresh the extra side
Pressure.
of the dragon. Samel,
Samel's
my
gonna die.
God, he's dead. Okay, Samel's dead,
Shaman is up in 5.
and you can't.
Abaddon is still alive too.
They're looking at the
throne,
tier 4s.
though.
They're trying to get out of the game, Nigma Galaxy. And it's a lot of damage. Ghost, he wants to end this, get this one done. Is there anything to stop him? There is not.
Oh,
They'll
there's
close up
not.
the game, close up the series. Nigma Galaxy will get this one 2-0 against 4 Pirates. But certainly not without a little bit of excitement towards the end there, Misery.
Phew.
That's
Yeah.